In this video, it is a brief look back at 226 testimony. The person that stands out to me is Velvet. I recognize her voice, although her face wasn't shown. She is the ex-wife of Eligio Bishop. I do believe she has gotten a divorce from him since he's been in jail. But 11 Alive News once again covered the courtroom and they gave us some recaps. Let's take a listen.
Tonight, testimony wrapping up for the day in the DeKalb County trial of Eligio Bishop, the alleged cult leader charged
The
with
R word.
and posting revenge porn.
So Bishop is the leader of the group Carbon Nation. He was arrested in April of 2022. 11 Alive's Tracy A. McPeer has been monitoring this case for us. So Tracy, you just stepped out of the courtroom, and we heard from this defendant for the first time.
That's right. We heard Eligio Bishop speak during his interview with detectives when he was arrested. Then, two more former members of Carbon Nation took the stand.
Women couldn't wear shirts at one point in time, so we started putting leaves on our nipples. Every woman had to have sex with Nature Boy.
On day 3 of testimony in the Eligio Bishop
R word trial.
two more former members took the stand and described the group Carbon Nation, where they say Bishop cut off their contact with the outside world and controlled his members.
He considers himself to be God, so he went from saying that I'm your higher self to I'm your master teacher, and so he believes that he is the end-all, be-all, the Alpha and Omega.
In an interview with detectives from 2022 that was played in the courtroom, Bishop told detectives that he was acting and is a controversial figure and claims any sex with him was consensual. One victim who took the stand joined the group in 2017 and says at first everything was going well, but says the situation changed and Bishop would make members beat up other members.
I had also just witnessed the women jumping another woman. In that moment, I feel like I had shut down. Eligio Bishop separated the men and the women into two different Airbnbs. His thoughts are every woman is his wife.
Another victim claimed Bishop also posted revenge porn of her.
After I left Nature Boy,
As you come onto the page, don't forget to hit that like bell and subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you.
after I left Nature Boy, decided to start leaking sexual videos of me that I did not consent.
Both victims confirmed they knew Eligio Bishop was the leader and they couldn't tell him no.
What about the guys that and the girls that claim that you are God? What about the guys that and the girls that claim that you are God?
I believe I'm God.
Okay.
I do. I believe that I'm God. I believe we're God. I believe everything is connected. I believe that you're God. I believe that the way I treat you is how I treat God. I believe you don't treat God. We don't praise an invisible God. We praise each other. The way I treat you is how I treat God. I don't put God in my mind. I put God in you. And I love you as I love God. And my relationship with you is my relationship with God. We're all one. From one earth, one source. We're all breathing the same here on this one rock in the middle of nowhere. Flying into the dimensions of the abyss of darkness. We're all on this one rock together. And we gotta get along. This is what I'm teaching. We can't keep fighting the right people don't want to hear it. They don't, but I gotta bring it through. I can bring see that all the down right now. That's what we're gonna lose. That's what my neighbor losing. That's what they're trying to do. So I'm looking at this like, okay, this is what I need. I need press to get people to listen to me. Because when you keep taking me as a joke, I'm telling the mathematics of the universe. I'm saying, listen, we need to get this forward. We need to get this much sunlight. We need to get out of the hood, put the guns away. This is what we need to do. Because we keep ending up behind bars. So we have to let them tool the lane. And this is my message to people.
That is the defendant in his police interview. Who is this guy? What is this case? It's out of Georgia, and that is Eligio Bishop. Take a look. He is a leader of this group, Carbon Nation. Is it a religion? Is it a cult? I don't know. I guess the jury will answer that question at this trial. But he's accused of sexual assault. So what exactly is going on in his world? what is going on in his relationship with these women who are around him. One of those women is an accuser and is an alleged victim and testified today. You will hear her testimony. You won't see her, and we won't say her name, but you can hear some of the allegations. And as you listen, as we listen, the question for this jury is going to be is, was she coerced? Was she forced? Was she trapped? Was she sexually assaulted? Let's listen.
Way before you come to carbonation, there's rules. So, like, the rule is you have to get rid of all of your stuff. You have to change your name. Those are non-negotiable. When you get there, you have to put all of your financial belongings into what we would call a pot, where we would pull resources from the group, and we would use these resources to feed ourselves, travel, etc. If you didn't give your documentation, you were like verbally abused in amongst the circle. Like they would make, like have a meeting. We would call them meetings, kind of like what's going on right now, except if you were the victim, we would be like, why aren't you putting your money? Are you for it? Are you, and then it would be like verbal abuse. And so that was a rule. Another rule was that we couldn't use the bathroom. We had to use the bathroom a certain way. At one point in time, and because things progressed, it didn't keep happening, but it actually was a rule for us not to wear shirts. Like women couldn't wear shirts at one point in time. So we started putting leaves on our nipples, going live. And other things that I wouldn't consider quote unquote rules, but were non-negotiable things in the group was that every woman had to have sex with Nature Boy, or have some type of sexual fantasy with him. And a lot of times when that would happen, it would be forced and non-consensual because it was non-negotiable for anybody there. When I chose to be polygamous, we instantly was like monogamous. So when we were monogamous, he was doing the whole love bombing thing. Like, I really love you. I really want to be with you. You make me so happy. I really see you as the only woman in my life. I want you to have my children. Everything a woman want to hear. So eventually, I got pregnant, and when I got pregnant, that's when the abuse started, and he really started getting abusive with me. And then later down the line, he had admitted to me that he couldn't wait to get me pregnant, and his goal was to get me pregnant so that he can do whatever he wants, so that I wouldn't leave him. So me getting pregnant was his way of trapping me.
As you come onto the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you.
Wrapping up for the day in the DeKalb County trial of Eligio Bishop, the alleged cult leader charged with rape and posting revenge porn.
So Bishop is the leader of the group Carbonation. He was arrested in April of 2022. 11 Alive's Tracy A. McPeer has been monitoring this case for us. So Tracy, you just stepped out of the courtroom, and we heard from this defendant for the first time.
That's right. We heard Eligio Bishop speak during his interview with detectives when he was arrested. Then, two more former members of Carbonation took the stand.
Women couldn't wear shirts at one point in time, so we started putting leaves on our nipples. Every woman had to have sex with Nature Boy.
On day 3 of testimony in the Eligio Bishop rape trial, two more former members took the stand and described the group Carbonation, where they say Bishop cut off their contact with the outside world and controlled his members.
He considers himself to be God. So he went from saying that I'm your higher self to I'm your master teacher. And so he believes that he is the end-all, be-all, the alpha and omega.
In an interview with detectives from 2022 that was played in the courtroom, Bishop told detectives that he was acting and is a controversial figure and claims any sex with him was consensual.
Essentially, what Eligio Bishop said was that he don't have to, the R word, he don't have to go that route because he's got multiple wives. I think he said 5.
One victim who took the stand joined the group in 2017 and says at first everything was going well, but says the situation changed and Bishop would make members beat up other members.
I had also just witnessed the women jumping another woman. In that moment, I felt like I had shut down.
Eligio Bishop separated the men and the women into 2 different Airbnbs. His thoughts are, every woman is his wife.
Another victim claimed Bishop also posted revenge porn of her.
After I left, Nature Boy decided to start leaking sexual videos of me that I did not consent.
Both victims confirmed they knew Eligio Bishop was the leader. And
In this video, I will be teaching you how to think. And I know a lot of people are already saying, mind control.
The alleged cult leader of Carbon Nation, Eligio Nature Boy Bishop, was arrested after a former cult member claimed he posted revenge porn after she left him.
But truly, I'm a really sweet person. They want to crucify me, they want me dead. They're going to hate around me. They're feel it. That's like any other prophet. Only me, I'm the return of Christ.
Carbon Nation is a polygamous group that believes in nudism, sexual education, veganism, and that members hand over all financial information to their leader, Eligio Bishop. He has amassed significant followings on YouTube and Instagram. A former member of his group spoke with an Atlanta news station.
He literally held me hostage. He took all of my identification, my passport, my birth certificate, my social, my bank cards, everything, you name it.
Court documents claim in March of 2022, Bishop,
The R word.
one of his members, after refusing to let her leave. He then posted, the allegation says, the videos onto his social media pages.
So it's like, lock up all the real men, all the dominant males. Let's lock them all up. You know what? I still forgive her.
Bishop is charged with
The R word.
false imprisonment and 3 charges of prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. He's pled not guilty, claiming she consented to participating in the sexual acts and has never held anyone against their will.
I want to apologize if I offended anybody in any kind of way. I said it, the truth, in the wrong way. I stand by everything that I stand by.
Well, the trial is going on day 4, and I'm just kind of wondering if he's going to be convicted at all, because the victim did say that her bags were packed at the door. She was waiting for the Uber. Somebody came down and said, Bishop wants to see you in his quarters. And she went upstairs, and after he pleaded with her several times, according to her, it was a lot of times, over 10 times, she finally gave in. Well, I'm wondering if giving in is consensual, or could that be considered SA, or the R word, because she's claiming the R word, and yet on the other hand, she said she finally gave in. So if you're giving in as an adult and you are consciously saying, okay, I'll do it just one more time before I leave, then is that considered SA or the R word? So the jurors got a lot to ponder over. And as for Velvet, that was Janae. As for Velvet, she got on the witness stand on the 26th, and she said that she was forced to stay. But I'm wondering how many times her leaving and coming back to this man is considered being forced to stay, because she left in her own admission 3 or 4 times. Janae, the same thing. The accuser said that she also left about 3 times and came back. So I'm wondering, could that be considered imprisonment or forcing someone to stay when these 2 women left several times and came back to Carbon Nation several times? I'm not advocating for him, but I'm just looking at the law, at the side of the law that says if you are in prison, then you are forced to stay. These women were not forced to stay. In their own comments, in their own testimony on the stand, they said that they could leave or do what he said if they stayed. So they had a choice to either leave or stay. If you stay, you do what he said. But if you don't agree, then you can leave. But you left with under the rest of him talking all night. And I guess no attorney prepped them, because you don't get on the stand. You say, I was forced to stay, I was imprisoned. But yet you can call an Uber and you can leave at any time. That is not considered being imprisoned. I'm just looking at this logically. So it's going to be interesting when the jury comes in with a verdict, how they're going to find this case. So I'm wondering if it's going to be looked at as consensual or not. She turned back. The Uber had pulled up for her to leave. Somebody told her that Bishop wanted to see her. She turned back and went back upstairs into his room. So that shows there wasn't a threat, but you never know how the jurors are going to bring in a verdict. You guys can drop your comments if you want to weigh in. I'm over and out. See you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit that like bell and subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you for watching.